back from Morrison's Tuesday evening. I should have done a clean this evening, but there's somebody in the office and just not in the mood to have conversations. I value my business clean days when I get to just clean and listen to podcasts. I love it. Anyway, so Morrison's had a few fun deals today. Well, Morrison's had a few deals, and then one of my cashback apps had some good deals. So I've spent today a whopping great £8.93, but a lot of that I will get back as freebies. So I'm going to go through the things I got in Morrison's first. They're the discounts. So there's this one, which was Blue Dragon noodles. These are the fine noodles. This was £1.25 down to 63p. There's about 4 nests in there, so that's 4 meals easily. I got a baguette for tomorrow. That is a ham and coleslaw baguette. Was £3.25 down to 82p. I cannot believe how expensive a baguette is. £3.25. They're not even high-end ones. What else did I get? I also got, I found Hovis tea cakes. Were £1.40 down to 35p. That's a good one. Like a bit of that. And apples. Bag of apples. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples. These are Bramley apples. Were £2.50 down to 63p. So that's pretty good. Don't often get fruit. So the freebies I got. So there's a new oat, and it's oat and dairy blended cheese. They do cheese, butter and milk, and they're obviously a new brand and they're pushing themselves because Checkout Smart have offered it for free before and I've picked it up. They're alright. I wouldn't probably buy it at the prices that it is, but it's tasty enough. So all of these things I bought full price and I will get back as freebies. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is £6.50 worth. So the first one is the grated cheddar. The grated doesn't even say which one it is. I think that's £1.50. They don't label them up very well on the receipts. The slices were £1.50. I think there's 10 in there. Does it say? I had this problem last time. I'm not sure. I think there's 10 in there. There was also the block. That was £2. And then there is the block butter, which is £1.50. So they do their own butter. They also had a spreadable, like a spreadable margarine type version, but they don't have that in my Morrison's. I'm surprised how many things there were, because normally you'll go in and get 1 or 2 things, but this is quite a new brand, so they're pushing themselves. So I will get all of that back through Checkout Smart as freebies. That's going to keep me well stocked for a while. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I shall put up there everything that I would if I'd bought it all at full price, and the discounted price will be the yellow sticker discount plus all the freebies. So where I've got that money back, and that is Tuesday evening. So that means that tomorrow I will go and do my clean during the day, and on Wednesday evening I will then go in and do the clean for the business, and hopefully there won't be anybody there. Usually if there's going to be someone in, it will be on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I use as my backup, because it's not set in stone which day I do it. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday midweek depending. So that's kind of how I work it. So that's that. So at least it's been a profitable shop, and it got me out again. My God, it's cold out there at the moment. Temperatures are really starting to drop, and I think we're going to have snow again at the end of the week. Joy. So I am going to have a hot cup of tea and a tea cake, and I'm going to put all this stuff onto my spreadsheet. I've got to upload all the barcodes and the receipts to my app to get the cash back, and then money back in the bank. I'm off to my Wednesday morning clean, as I always do on a Wednesday morning. I did a weigh-in this morning. It's my first weigh-in since, well, I weighed in when I got back after Christmas, and not surprisingly, a little bit of weight had gone on. Christmas eating, different routine, almost no exercise.
I'd put on £2, and I did a weigh-in this morning, and I have lost £1. Now, if I look at the calorie calculations and the miles and the steps I've done on the pedometer that I use, I should have lost £4, but I haven't, and I think there's one very good reason for that, or a multiple of reasons, but one thing that sums it up, and it's called discount donuts. I have not been as strict since I got back, when I've been going for my yellow sticker shops, and I have been picking up more junk food than I was before Christmas. I got really good at just ignoring it all before Christmas, and then Christmas happened and the snacks came out, and you know what it's like, just complete lack of self-control. And yeah, so I have lost £1, but clearly I am eating more calories than I can physically burn doing 10,000 steps a day. So I can chase that bad eating by upping my step count, or I can keep my step count the same and stop eating so much junk. So that's what I'm going to do. At this point, I would rather cut back on the bad foods and keep the steps the same at the moment. I was starting to do 13,000 steps last year before I came away, but I would rather get better at the eating than chase it by walking. I just think it's a better way to do it, is to have a little bit more control over my eating, which is what I always plan to do anyway. So that's that. The other thing, something I'm planning to do this evening, I think, actually, I've got a clean to do this evening, I might do it tomorrow, is write my official complaint to the DWP via my journal about universal credit and about being completely ignored about that interest repayment, or the recalculation, should I say. Still heard nothing, so I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to follow the procedures that are detailed on the DWP website, which says I have to put in a formal complaint first through my journal, which is hilarious because they just ignore the journal, and then if I don't get a response to that, I can escalate it to the senior manager, and if I don't like that, I can escalate it and then escalate it again. It's now no longer about the money. This is the principle of it. When they want something from me, they're quick to message me on the journal then. But because I want something from them, not a word. Not a dicky bird. And the journal can be a really good system, but it can also be a really bad system because it makes it very easy for them to just filter people out that they just don't want to talk to. And because I no longer have a work coach, because officially I'm no longer on UC, there's no one really taking responsibility for it. But they must be able to see when they go into the journal that no one's responded. It's not difficult to use. It's not a difficult system to understand. If it's simple from my end, it must be as simple at their end. It must be a similar thing. So I'm going to draft out or write out my complaint as per their rules, and we're going to post that, and then we'll take it from there, because I've got them in my sights now. I refuse to give up on this until I have some kind of final response, even if I don't make any money, because all they had to do was just answer the questions and just do it. But we know the system doesn't work, and I am absolutely determined to carry on with this and see it through to the end now. I refuse to be ignored for something as simple as, well, this is what you need to do. And it's not even just local office. Often I get people answering from the head office as well. So there's more than one set of people looking at this. and they just don't care. And it's the principle of it, because there are other people who will be having the same problem as me at the moment with the journal, who desperately need help. I'm not desperate, this is now the principle of it, but there will be people who are desperate for help and are just being ignored by the system, because if the staff ignore your messages on the journal, there's no repercussion from that. Nobody gets pulled up about it. Nobody gets asked, why didn't you respond? Nobody asks why it took you so long to do this. There are no repercussions on the system. And man, oh man, that drives me mad. So that's why I'm doing this. Because it's now just pulling up the system that doesn't work. Because this sums up the state of the system. For what? These people get paid. They're being paid. Why can they not answer a simple question on an electronic platform when they want something? Doesn't take them a second to do it. They're quick off the mark when they want something from you. But as soon as you want some help, crickets. And I'm not having that. So, here I am, at my clean, enjoying a little bit of sun before I go in. And that's that. Don't think you can see that. It is cold here today. It was minus temperatures last night. Still thick frost on the cars, and it's almost 11 o'clock. It's really sunny, clear sky, which is why it's so cold, but it's cold in here. I think it's about 5 degrees outside now with the sun. And as that sun moves round, it's going to come into my flat and it's going to warm my flat up. But at the moment, it's not. I'm just making another cup of tea, and I'm going to start prepping lunch, which is another one of my throw together whatever I've got stir fry lunches. So let's have a look at what I've got. Okay, vegetables in the fridge. I'm going to chop out a bunch of that. I have the last of the beef pepperoni, which I think I'm going to do, and I acquired some Italian mascarpone. Don't ask how I got hold of that. And I'm going to use that as today's stir-in sauce. Yeah. I forgot about the last of this coleslaw from that great big tub I bought last week. Lasts really well in the fridge, but it's not going to go with lunch. So I'm just going to eat this as a pre-lunch snack. It's a bit of coleslaw, it's not going to hurt. Tea time. In my thermal cup. So that will last hours, depending on if I drink it or not. The weirdest thing happened this morning. I got up and there was a worm, a 2-inch long worm, stuck to the tiles of my bathroom just above my bath. It was dead. It had dried out, stuck to the wall. Wasn't there when I went to bed. I have no idea where that's come from, because I'm in a first floor flat. It's not even like it's somehow got in from the ground. I have no idea where that's come from. That's the weirdest thing ever. Anyway. Last night I sent my email, my complaint email, to Universal Credit via my journal. I'm actually not expecting a reply.
but I have made sure that I have screenshot up to date my entire journal. I've got the whole thing anyway, screenshot and filed, because it wouldn't surprise me if my journal magically disappeared overnight. I don't know why it's still open. Every month they keep asking me to process my income and outgoings, even though I'm no longer eligible for universal credit, and that stopped officially last October. I keep filling it in because I keep getting the impression that unless I fill it in, they won't look at my claim for the interest that I'm trying to get back, which started in September 2023. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. Anyway, so I updated everything so they couldn't use it against me. And of course I've not heard anything since. We'll see what happens. Alright, that's that eaten. That's one less thing that was going to go off in my fridge. I hate it when food goes off. So, my all-in-one stir fry today is going to be the pepperoni, the stir-in mascarpone cheese. I'm going to put in a mushroom, the last of some mixed radishes. Got 4 of those. That's the end of those. I'm going to put in, let's have a look at the bottom here. We start using things depending on how quickly it looks like they're going to go off. So I've got a bit of sweet potato there. I have a load of carrots in here, so I'm going to pick out a couple of carrots that look like they're really on their way out and need using ASAP. I've actually got 3 of those. The ends have gone a bit off, so I'm going to chop the ends off and then use the good bits. And then a handful of Brussels sprouts, which I will chop up. And I think that is going to be lunch. Oh, actually, in the freezer. Come on, vegetables, where are you? I'm sure that somewhere. There we go. We'll save those chopped runner beans for another time when I really need some vegetables. So the thing I was looking for was, I've still got some Cavalli Nero. So we're going to get some of that out the freezer. So I've got quite a bit of that. So I'm going to do some of that. And that will do lunch. Do the jobbing. There we go. And that is a normal stir fry lunch for me, really. When it comes to stirring sauces, there are all sorts of things I can use, depends what I've got in. I've always got a bottle of soy sauce on the go, you never know. And I've also got a tub of hummus open in the fridge, and that also makes quite a good stirring sauce. But the hummus will last longer than the Italian mascarpone, so I'm going to use that. So that looks pretty good. And then basically what I do is chop it all up, sling it in a pan, cook it, eat it. Simple as that.
And that is a pretty standard lunch for me. Throwing things into a pan, cooking them up, putting in a bit of flavour and eating them. So this is, it might look like a weird combination to you, but this is how I eat. That mascarpone cheese is a bit of a treat because that's expensive stuff in the shops. I got that for free and that really makes a difference. There's a lot there, but it's pretty much vegetables. And that, my friends, is how you make a budget meal. Friday morning, and I am going back to Sainsbury's to try it again to see if I can shop with Nectar points. I think this is my 5th attempt. I'm not feeling hopeful. So we'll see what happens. It's turned really cold and I wasn't going to go and do this today, but sometimes the only way to really get warm is to get out and walk. So I've got all my warm layers on. You have to get your circulation really going. And it's different to being on the treadmill. Most of the time that's fine, but occasionally you just need to get out and walk in a different way. So here I am. Wish me luck. So, perhaps no surprise that I've left the store empty-handed again, because it still doesn't work. And I will contact them again. And we will keep doing this until I can get my 80 quid worth of nectar points. The uselessness of these systems. The more tech you have, the more complicated everything becomes. And everything's great while it works, and as soon as it doesn't work properly, nobody can fix it. But at least I've had a walk. I've got my bottle of water, so that'll be a litre of water. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to try again. And they'll talk me through another step that they probably forgot to tell me last time. I'll give up. So this is me less than an hour after I did that last bit of video. I got home and I got back onto web chat, checked again. They said no, everything's fine. While I was waiting them to faff around and tell me what I already knew, I thought I'll just have a look at the Smart Shop app, which is where you can scan things in the shop as you go, and then you don't have to scan it at the till. Now, I don't usually use that. I only use it when I want to be sure that I've hit a limit so that I know that I can redeem points. And I had to look at it, and it's still got my old card number in there. Now, I thought I had changed it, but the app also did an update last week, so I don't know whether I changed it or not. So I thought, right, this must be the problem. There's no other reason why this should be a problem. So I've come back to the store, and I wasn't going to walk again, so I've driven down. It's quicker and easier, and it works. I just scanned at the till as normal, and it works. So if you're still having problems and you use the Smart Shop, the basket thing on your phone, on your app, do check that it's still got the right card number, because again, like Sainsbury's Groceries and Nectar aren't linked, the Smart Scan, Smart Basket, whatever it's called, app also is not linked to Nectar, even though your Nectar card is linked in it. So I only bought two things because I just wanted to buy one thing that I really needed, potatoes. Haven't had potatoes in ages, and I had one deal on Shopmium that I wanted to get because then I can cash out because they're hanging on to my money, and that was this, which is one of those lovely cheeses. I get money back on that. That'll allow me to hit my £10 limit, and then I can cash out and Shopmium, because I'm sick of how long it takes to cash out and Shopmium. So, my God, what a day. Honestly, why is it that no one can do things properly? I mean, on the Nectar app, at least I know how it works, and I would say that they should know to ask, do you use the basket app when you shop in store? Have you made sure that you've relinked your new card? No one in the store asked me that. So clearly no one knows how anything works, except apparently me. I think I probably know more about how to set up a Nectar app now than anybody else, because this has taken me, well, the 9th of January was when my account got hacked, and it's now the 7th of February, so it's taken me just short of a month to get this sorted, because no one asks the right questions. And as I've never had this happen to me before, I didn't know how to ask all the right questions. You assume that if you ask a help desk, they'll talk you through the entire process, and they don't. So I'm back online. I can now actually start buying stuff with Nectar points again. Thank goodness for that, because I now have about £83 worth of points on my account, because I've continued to do surveys with the two Nectar survey sites I've just been building up points because I was thinking, well, at some point I am going to be able to spend these blooming things, and I'm going to have so much on there, you know, and have a nice healthy balance for emergencies. So I do have other things that I want to buy, but they're not urgent. They're not like things that I need in the next week or 2 weeks. So now I can know that when I go on my little shopping trips, I'm not wasting my time anymore. Thank God for that. Honestly, I've never known anything like it. I was just about to say on my last video, and then didn't, that it was going to be a battle between who is the worst for customer service. Is it Nectar or is it Universal Credit? Now, given that Nectar is finally sorted, I wonder if that is a good sign for things to come for Universal Credit, because it's been 2 days since I put in my formal complaint, and we'll wait and see. It's now Friday, so there's no way I'm going to get any sort of answer today, I wouldn't have thought, because I bet it's all go home early on Fridays for them, isn't it? I'm being mean, but I am absolutely cheesed off with the inability of anything in this country to work properly anymore. Nothing blooming works, and it's, you know, I'm pretty good. I will put up with quite a lot and be polite and nice for a long time before I lose my rag. And I just started to lose my rag with the online chat people at Nectar when I got back and started doing that. And then when I looked and saw that the Smart Shop app didn't have the right card number on it, I backed down because I thought, oh, maybe this isn't their fault. And at that point, you know, she'd looked and said, well, everything looks fine. Here's the Sainsbury's helpline number. Maybe it's the Sainsbury's issue. So we had reached that point where Nectar had actually given up on me now, because they've done everything they can, and then it turns out that it's the Smart Shop. So if this happens to you, if you get your card hacked, make sure your card number is correct in all the ways you use it. So when you've got your new card, if you're using the app, for instance, you then need to go to Sainsbury's Groceries online, set yourself up a mock shop with a basket, and check when you go to checkout, before you pay, where it asks you if you want to redeem points, check that it's showing your balance. That means that your card will work in store, and then if you use the Smart Shop app, double check that it works. It's really quick and easy to change the card number, but it's all kind of hidden away, so when you go into the app, it doesn't automatically have your card number at the top, like when you go into the Nectar app. You know, your card number is right in front of your face, you can't miss it, so you know if it's wrong if you recognise your number. So do double check that. So I am the new helpline for Nectar. Oh my goodness, I am so pleased that's over with. That's been an absolute pain in the backside. One down, one to go. And now I can go home and make my lunch in peace. Oh, and the suitcase has gone. The bin men actually took the suitcase this week that's been lying around outside, but somebody has dumped a chair out the front on the path outside where we live. So I wonder how long that's going to sit there for. It looks like it's like a garden fold-up chair. It looks like it's still in usable nick, so I'm hoping that if I just don't do anything with it, just leave it there, that someone will come along and take it, because if it ain't nailed down, someone will nick it if it's useful. So I'm hoping that someone will just come along sometime in the next couple of days and steal it, which will be good because it looks usable. I don't need one, I've got one. That's it, I'm going to make lunch. Saturday morning, well, Saturday afternoon actually. I've just finished my double clean, got back home. It is cold, so I'm back in these layers, and I refuse to apologise for having to stay warm. Two quick things. Firstly, yesterday I repotted my broad beans, which are doing really well. So you can see here my little broad beans, and I've kind of done a rudimentary repotting. They're in the final pot that they will be in when they go outside. Once they're a bit bigger and they're outside, I will properly stake them. So this is a temporary thing just to keep them going in the right direction. The other thing that happened was when I was talking about getting back online with Nectar, what I didn't realise was happening, I think almost on the same day, was that they have invented a new security feature for Sainsbury's to try and stop people nicking your points. So now you have a lock feature. So when you go into your app, underneath where your card number is, you can now see a spending lock, and you can lock your account so that no one else can hack it and spend your points. You can still collect points when it's locked. So if you went and bought something in Sainsbury's but you didn't spend Nectar points, it would still collect points for you. And then when you want to go in and spend your points, you can go into the app, unlock it, and it'll unlock straight away, and then you can spend and then you can relock it. So instead of dealing with their security issue, which is how easy it is to hack accounts, they've simply added a different feature whereby all the onus now comes back onto the customer. But at least I have control over that. I guess it's a workaround. So that works really well if you have the app. And if you don't have the app, that you have access to the internet and you can go and do the lock and unlock there, and remember to do it every time you go shopping. So not very effective if you're not an app user. But there you go. So that's my little update on that. Sunday morning again, and I've had a pretty good Morrison's haul today. So let's have a look at what I got. 2 beef and onion pies. They are a Morrison's one. These were £1.15 each for one of those, and they're down to 46p. So I've got 2 of those for the freezer. What else have I got? I have greens. We did quite well on the veg front today. So I have greens here. These were 79 pence. 79 pounds, not that bad yet. 79 pence down to 59 pence. So that will do me for a while. Lots of sweet potatoes in. Fabulous. These were 1.25 a bag down to 38p. So I bought 2 of those. I love the sweet potatoes. Can't get my words out today. I've also got some more parsnips. These were 55p down to 41p. There's quite a few in that bag there. And some crumpets. These are Warburtons. These were 79p down to 40p. That's pretty good actually for a named brand like a Warburtons. For a pack of 6 crumpets to be 79p on original price. Considering how expensive everything is at the moment, that's not too bad. I also got 2 of the hummus. They're still doing loads of hummus at the moment. These are £1.35 down to 41p. So I've got 2 of those. They're great in stir fries. And they had some tara masalata as well. This was also £1.35 down to 41p. Thought I'd get one of those for fun. So there you go. So that lot cost me £4.31, and I shall stick all the information up there as usual to show you what I would have spent if I bought it all full price, and how much I have saved by buying it on discounts and yellow stickers. Sunday, busy today. I have stuff to pack. I have sold another thing on Vinted, so that's 2 things I've sold on Vinted this month. And this weekend I have sold 3 of my decorated candles. That is brilliant. I sold 2 via my Shopify store, and I'm pretty sure I recognise that name, so thank you to you. And then I sold one on Etsy as well, which may or may not be connected to YouTube, I'm not sure. Didn't recognise the name. So yeah, I have a day of packing. I need to pack up a Vinted item, and I've already packed up and sent this morning one of the candles, 2 of the candles that were bought by one person, and they're all batched up together, so they're on their way now, and I have 1 candle to batch up, so that'll keep me busy. It's a relief that, you know, people have started buying a few bits and pieces again now.
makes a huge difference to the budget, even if it's just a few things each month. Makes a massive difference. So that'll keep me busy. Sunday will be a productive day. And I've been reading the comments from that video that I made recently about how much I spend on electricity, and I'm going to do a follow-up, because people don't seem to understand, or some people don't seem to understand the difference between the electricity bill and electricity usage. They are different things. So I'm going to talk through that, and I'm also going to talk about how much I spend on gas as well, and then talk about some of the other aspects of energy bills, which are a problem for us in the UK at the moment. Something to get off my chest. Right, catch you later. I thought I would finish this weekly vlog with another potting update. So my peas are ready for repotting, and in the same way that I did with the broad beans, I brought in a pot from outdoors that already has earth in it. So that'll be their final planting position. And I brought it indoors. I've repotted the peas, which you can see here, and then I'm going to keep it indoors on the windowsill until they are big enough to put out, and then all those things will go outside. So that's a nice jolly way to end things. It's a reminder that spring is very much on its way. Wouldn't be able to tell today. It is dreary. It is dreary and miserable and horrible, and I think Feb's going to be a bit of a chilly one, but boy am I looking forward to the spring. So I'm going to end this vlog here. Updates. It's been a really quiet week. I mean, it's really been routine. The weather's, I've done a few things outside, but the weather's really taken a turn, and my enthusiasm and my motivation, my energy has gone down with it. So I am just going to power through, and we'll see how we get on. Yeah, it's not very interesting, I know, but, it's winter. We're all hunkered down. We're all just getting through it until the weather improves, and that's what it is. I'm not going to apologise for the fact my life isn't very interesting. Most of our lives aren't that interesting. It's the way it is, and if you're fed up with seeing me posting from the same places, then you probably need to go and find someone else to follow, because unfortunately this is my real life. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with adverts. I think February is going to be a better month than January was for YouTube income. I had a couple of videos which have boosted my revenue a little bit. They weren't intentionally supposed to be, but you probably know which ones they are. Anyway, so thank you for being here as always. My numbers are kind of going up a little bit, which is fun, on both my channels actually. There's been a weird uptick in YouTube, and I don't know why that is. I think it's like January's over, and suddenly everyone's like, okay, January's done. And I've seen upticks in all sorts of things, analytics and whatever. So I'm going to stop waffling, because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And I will speak to you again soon. Bye bye.